The young sailor, fueled by the collective energy, raised his glass high, his voice rising above the murmurs. To the island and its mysteries, may our hearts remain unyielded, our spirits intertwined in the face of peril. The patrons echoed his declaration, their faces alight with fervor as they clinked their glasses together, a sound resonating like the beginning of a fateful journey. We stand not merely as individuals, the sailor continued, but as a united force against the fears that bind us. The captain watched, a complex mix of pride and trepidation swirling within him as he observed the raw enthusiasm unfold. But do not mistake this journey for a jest, he cautioned gently, his voice cutting through the joy, for the shadows beckon, eager to test your resolve and purpose. The acknowledgement of his warning hung palpable in the air, yet it was eclipsed by the promise of adventure. The flickering fire reflected their unwavering spirit, each heartbeat echoing a call to the wildlands beyond. As the tavern vibrated with shared enthusiasm, the young sailor felt the weight of his decision solidify into a tangible force. Turning to the captain, he said, "Teach us of the island, old friend, its tides, its tempests, and its whispers. We wish to walk knowingly into the unknown." The captain met the sailor's earnest gaze, searching for signs of naivety but finding only the kindling of wisdom. "Knowledge comes not without its trials," he replied, "and understanding the lore of the island is a formidable task." He rose from his seat, imposing yet contemplative, and began to recount tales of fearsome storms that ravaged the sea and spirits that danced between the waves. The patrons hung on his every word, enraptured by tales that spun images of both wonder and dread. In the dim light, shadows shifted, as if the shadows themselves listened eagerly to his stories, casting both awe and caution over their hearts. In the depths of night, the captain warned, lowering his voice to a haunting whisper, "The island reveals visions that can distort truth and lead you astray. Do not be lulled by its beauty, for beneath it lies the tempest waiting to rise." The weight of his words gripped their hearts, reminding them that each step forward was a dance with uncertainty. "But," he continued, "to understand the island is to confront the darkness, for therein lies the roads unknown and the spirits waiting to reclaim their stories." As the fire crackled, the atmosphere shifted, mixing the tantalizing thrill of adventure with the sobering caution of respect. The young sailor, inspired yet grounded, nodded thoughtfully. "We shall tread carefully but courageously," he declared, igniting a new flame of determination among his companions. With the captain's guidance, they would face the island's secrets together, forging a pathway illuminated by the light of their collective spirits. They prepared to embark, hearts full, ready to confront both the mysteries around them and the truths embedded within. The tavern, once a sanctuary, now felt like a launchpad into an uncharted horizon, where destiny awaited. The captain's weathered voice rose, commanding attention once more. "Remember, bravery is not the absence of fear," he intoned, eyes sweeping across the youthful faces filled with fervor. "It is the strength to forge ahead despite it. Each one of you holds the weight of not just your dreams, but the legacy you seek to unearth." The young sailor felt the gravity of those words hitting like thunder, yet within them, he recognized a spark, a reminder of unity amidst their growing resolve. "And in that spirit," he replied, his words echoing with newfound depth, "we will become the very stories we hope to discover, not just echoes of those who came before." A palpable energy buzzed in the room as the patrons nodded, hearts entwined with purpose and anticipation. This moment was theirs, a prelude to adventure waiting just beyond the threshold, where the world beyond thrummed with life. The captain raised his glass once more, a toast to courage and camaraderie, intertwining their trust with the hopes of the departed. "To every soul that guides us forward, and every shadow that challenges our path, may we honor them with our endeavor." Laughter mingled with resolute silence as glasses clinked, a promise forged under flickering candlelight. The tavern transformed, now a vessel preparing to sail into the unknown, with the echoes of their cheers entwined with the sound of adventure calling them home. The captain leaned in, his expression solemn as he continued to weave the gravity of their endeavor into his stories. "Know this," he said, his voice steady, The island tests not only your courage but also your resolve to uncover deeper truths. It may grant you visions of what you yearn for, yet do not be deceived. For every treasure found, a price is often paid. The young sailor listened intently, the embers of determination igniting a fervor within him, yet he recognized the weight in the captain's admonition. "And so we are prepared," he replied, his voice unwavering, "to face not just the challenges the island presents, but the riddle of ourselves." The patrons murmured their agreement, understanding that the journey invited them to confront their fears and desires side by side. Each heartbeat marked a step closer to destiny, their purpose crystallizing amid the tales that spun a tapestry of both dread and promise. "Let us be the seekers of truth," the sailor declared, emboldened. "Together, we will navigate the shadows that lie in each of our hearts." Laughter bubbled forth, buoying their spirits, as the captain nodded and felt a flicker of hope align with the intensity in the air. "Then let us embrace the night and the voyage that awaits," he urged, as they prepared to step into the unknown, the thrill of adventure coursing like a lifeblood through them all. As the fire crackled softly, a renewed sense of purpose animated the faces around the table. The captain, sensing the spark ignited within their hearts, leaned closer, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "Each dawn brings a choice. You can follow the tide or fight against it. Therein lies your test. The island's ebb and flow will cradle your fate." The young sailor nodded vigorously, feeling each word penetrate deeper into his resolve. "Then we shall ride the waves of destiny, not merely as passengers but as captains of our own fates." The patrons cheered in response, their spirits rising like the sun over the hills, ready for the adventure that lay ahead and determined to face whatever awaited them. As the excitement culminated in the tavern, an older patron, his voice filled with the weight of years, leaned forward, interrupting their fervor. But tell me, young sailor," he began, his demeanor serious, "what will you do when the tide turns against you?" The room fell silent, each face turning towards the young sailor, awaiting his response like ships waiting for the wind. The sailor paused, the question settling like a stone in his heart. "We will adapt and learn," he replied, his voice steady but reflective, "for every storm teaches us resilience, and every setback molds our strength." A murmur of agreement rippled through the patrons, as hope intertwined with the reality of their impending journey. "To face adversity is to truly live," he continued, conviction radiating through him, "and it is within those shadows that we will uncover not only the island's truths but our own." The captain's gaze softened, impressed by the wisdom shining through the youthful spirit. "Very well, lad," the captain said, his tone shifting to one of support. "Just remember, the journey you seek is as much about the bond you forge as the treasures you hope to find." Laughter and cheers erupted once more, but it was the seed of understanding planted in their hearts that would ultimately guide them through the dark. "Then let us cradle those bonds tightly," the young sailor affirmed, his eyes sparking with conviction, "for it is unity that will carry us through the tempests and the shadows alike." The patrons nodded in agreement, a chorus of resolve building within the tavern's walls as their spirits soared higher, fueled by shared dreams. As the night wore on and their cups emptied, the young sailor's eyes gleamed with determination. "Let our journey not only carve our legends but also bridge the stories of those lost to the depths. We shall return with their tales, honoring their struggles and uplifting their spirits." The patrons erupted in applause, their hopes kindled like the fire that danced before them. Knowing the tides of adventure awaited just beyond the tavern door,